guys, welcome back to Sparkle's Way. And yes, Sparkle is my mother real name. Hey guys, hope everything is great with you guys. Love and great vibrations. As you can see, today I wanted to try again something new and see what you guys think about it. So, for about a year, I would say, I found a hidden talent upon many other talents I have, painting. So it just happened. I knew I was always pretty good at drawing. Like, I'm able to look at an image and just like pick it up and just draw it, and it will be almost exactly the same. Okay? And I've been doing that. I've been drawing for years and years. Um, Anyways, so I'm sitting there with my kids and I decided to have a painting activity, bought a bunch of paints, not a big deal, bought a canvas, whatever. And I wanted to do their handprint and their footprint for 2021. And yeah, I decided to paint my own canvas. And my foster mom gave me this great idea to do an owl. So I did like an owl, like I went on Google, searched up whatever, and I did an owl with like branches coming out of it with the owl and looking at the moon inside. And outside the owl was the exact replica of the owl sitting there looking at the moon. So it was the out version and the internal version of the owl, if that makes sense. But yeah, and I posted it. I was like, yo, having a great day with the kids, posted up Facebook, whatever. And people were like, what? That's amazing. You did such a great job. So I was like, okay, maybe they're just like talking shit. Like, I can't be that good. So I continued painting. And the crazy part about it was actually really relaxing. It's gonna sound so cliche, but it's almost like I'm just one with my colors. I'm just flowing with it. I feel good about it. I don't think about what's going on in the world. It's just me and my colors. Not even my paintbrush, my colors. I love blending colors together and making them smush. And if you see a lot of my paintings on Instagram, I post them on Instagram. A lot of my colors blend together. So like the white and the orange and different shades of orange and the red and how it just blends together. I really feel like that's my strong point in painting. Like painting people? No. No. I don't know what it is. I'd rather do silhouettes. I find silhouettes just have that more like imaginary kind of feel to it. Like, it makes you use your imagination of like what that person looks like or what they're doing, how they feel without you seeing their facial expressions. It's like you're just the colors and the way I painted it. Is this person sad, happy, just the flow of things. So I find that I just adore much more the silhouettes, people without faces. I feel like it just expresses so much of how you're feeling also, right? Like how you look at the painting. That's what I love about art. You know, to the artist, they could have been in a great mood, but maybe to someone else, when they look at their painting, they could feel totally sad or, you know, anxious or whatever. And I adore that because I've seen that. I actually sold a couple, like I asked people to give me whatever they can, I'm not a big time painter, but just to keep getting materials and keep myself painting. But it was just amazing to see how people reacted to my different types of painting. Maybe when I was doing that painting, I was feeling a little anxious or whatever, but to them, it brought them so much happiness. A lot of the people, it brought them so much happiness. And I love when they give me the picture of where they hung it up, and it brings me so much joy, more than they even understand. You know, I had so much more support than I ever thought I would have. I did stop though. I did stop for a while. I had like a pretty bad heartbreak. And every time I was painting, it just reminded me of that person. And it was really hard, you know, to pick up a paintbrush because I just wasn't feeling it. I felt like the painting was just not coming out right. And I am such a hard critic on myself. Like, I am my own worst critic because, you know, when the painting starts, which you're going to see, you don't see the image yet. You don't. I'm more certain a lot of painters are like, but you do, like when you're painting, you see what you want to paint. But I I do, but I don't, because I'm like, oh my god, is it gonna come out okay? Is it gonna come out good? Oh, let me, you know, I'm so judgmental, but that's not what painting is. It's the flow. It's the flow. It's to let go of control and just let the paintbrush go where it wants to. And see, I have that tendency of controlling a lot of things that I can, and I control them very tightly. But with painting, there's no sense of control. It's not the same as coloring and like drawing on a piece of paper, a canvas painting. You know, your paintbrush kind of goes this way, and maybe you got a little splatter that way, and you got to make it work, you know. And it kind of, I want to use the same concept in life, you know. Not everything is going to flow the way you want. You're going to get those days where you were trying to go to this store and this store, but that store, something happened, you know, like it didn't have your thing, so you got to go to another store, you know. There's days that's just going to happen like that. Or, you know, you bought blueberries, but they like fell all in your bag, you know. Like shit like that happens, but you just got to like be like, okay, well, shit happens, right? Stuff happens in life. And that's kind of how I see painting. You know, I might have wanted it to look one way, but it came out a totally different way, or I had to add something to it because I felt like it was too plain, or I had to like maybe change the color I wanted, but it came out even better than what I anticipated. You know? And that's exactly the way I want to look at life. Is, you know, you might want something to be a certain way, or you might think that it should be that way, but in reality, it's not. And everything happens for a reason. So that little white dot that splattered on the corner of my canvas, it was meant to be there. Maybe I put a moon there, or whatever, you know? So, I'm not a teacher. I haven't been painting that long, but if you look at my IG, like, I have been drawing for a very long time, but painting is a total different field for me. But I would love for you guys to go check that out. But today I wanted to just, you know, relax and see what you guys think of watching me paint. And maybe you guys could comment below, oh, draw this, draw that, and send me like an image. I would gladly do that, you know, maybe once a week or whatever. I don't know. I'm just trying a bunch of different shit and see what connects with people and what draws people into my channel and take it from there, right? Painting was one of those things that really calmed me and relaxed me. I'm a very busy person and very anxious person, you know, and this was one of those things that I would get anxious, but once I started, it just happened. It just happened on my canvas, and then when I step back and look back, I'm like, wow, you know, I did that. I created that. All right, let's get started. Can't wait for you guys to see me paint. I do put headphones on and kind of vibe to my music, so it could be a little quiet. I might comment here and there, you know, but other than that, I'm totally in the zone. And maybe I'll put like some background music, who knows. So yeah, come join me, guys. Exciting. Let's open this. This is my little stand. She's been through a lot. funny because before I was actually painting with the canvas on my knee. It was pretty funny. So as you know, there's like so many different types of yellow, but there's a lot of times like I find, okay, as you can see, this one I really love to do sunsets and stuff because this one's very bright. But even with this one, if you put a little bit of yellow and you can't find a color like that, just putting a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white in this one, it will match exactly. But sometimes I like to put both because this one could be like the center of the sun, right? Like you put white and then you put this one on the outside and then you put this one outer to really give it that like it's a sun, it's bright. Don't know why I told you that, but I did. Ooh, I need to get brown. Yeah, white when you're painting is so important. Like you have to have a lot of white. Because you see this orange, it's pure pumpkin. Very, very dark color. A little too strong. It will overpower, like, okay, if you use this one and this one's fine. But if you're using this one, it's going to be very overpowering. So what I do is I kind of, if you want to say like dilute it, I dilute it with the white. So white is so important. Black, white, and even brown, and I don't even have much left. I'm disappointed. I'm surprised that I barely have any. So I'm trying something a little different this time. I'm kind of making like a sunset vibe thing, but it's going to be a little darker. The colors are not going to be so bright and flamboyant. It's going to be a little more dark, and I kind of mess with it because I think it'll look great. So even with the reds too, right? These two are so beautiful. I love this one, a deep red, more than this one for sure because this one's very like poppy and kind of Christmassy. I get more Christmassy vibe to this one, but this one's very more serious. I definitely use this one more in like my sunsets and like stuff like that. This one's more like red lips and stuff like that. But in skies, I definitely use the darker one because you don't want your colors to overpower each other. You kind of want it to flow, right? Oh, one of my favorite parts is like, look at this. Love it. Love it. Same with this. Beautiful. So beautiful. And a yellow. Putting the bright one too. I'm so upset about the brown though, because I really need it in this painting. But you know what? We make it work, right? All right, it's not me, it's the paint. I remember when I was even starting, I was taking throwaway plates and just using those, but I love this thing because it really separates your colors and doesn't like make them blend too much. But I have to say I actually do like using a plate also because there's a lot of pictures that I do blend my colors and just like on purpose I kind of just scoop it and scoop a little, trace it to the other one, scoop it a little, trace it to the other. I swear, sometimes when I say things, I'm like, why do I say it like that? It's weird. Don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask me. I'm like, sometimes I debate too which paintbrush I want to use. So a lot of times I'll use the big one and then use the small one to blend the colors together. You know what? I think I'm going to use this one. There's even times I remember when I started, I actually had to Google like some color, like how to blend some colors to make beige. Well, not beige. That's a little silly, but like kind of tone down the orange or the red. Because you'd actually be surprised. It's not always white and it's not always black. You know, okay, this is like the nerve-wracking part is when you start. So I just go with it, you know? And there's a piece. See, I haven't painted in a while, and there's like pieces in the paint. Is it weird that I love the smell of acrylic paint? I absolutely adore it. Oh, it's so amazing. Sorry, my canvas is moving and I don't like that. Oh, and a little tip too, always go over the edge. The edges, because when you look at the side of your paintings and you see white, you will not like that. And I had to learn that the hard way. Had to go back on a lot of my paintings and do the sides because it doesn't look good. The top is not that big of a deal. It's honestly the sides. Also, what I love about painting too is that you can even tell the strokes that that person, the techniques, so amazing. And only when I actually started painting, I appreciated much more the beauty of the art, to be honest. I've always loved art, but when I started painting, it definitely gave me more of an appreciation for it and how there's so many different types. There's some people so amazing at portraits, so amazing at just different types. You see, this is what I'm talking about. It's because I didn't use the paints for a while. Sometimes the paint kind of gets all clumpy. And see, that's what I love too, is when you're starting another color, I don't even clean. It's very rare that I clean my brush. unless I'm starting like a whole different part of the painting. But when I'm doing my sky, I really don't like to wash my paintbrush because I love the blend of the colors, right? That's how a sky is. It's all the colors together. It's not one or the other. The white. See this one? It's so bright. It's so bright. It aggravates me a little bit when they don't have the color that I want, and I have to make it. Oh my gosh. So I want to. Sometimes they jump, so don't mind me, okay? That's better. Like I said, that yellow is way too powerful. So, oh my god, it's even orange too. A lot of toning it down because it just doesn't work with the colors that I'm using, you know? I have no idea when it stopped. Sorry, guys. I'm so into the painting and I didn't realize. So sorry. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had to go get my girls and also let it dry. So now it's all nice and dry. So yeah, I'm just using like a margarine container because what I'm gonna do is the ground, a tree hugging the sun, I guess, like sunset kind of vibe. So I kind of want to like put it here. I want to put it here. I just painted white, the circle, right? It's almost like a restart. When you're doing circles, I'd always put a good amount on your paintbrush. It really helps making your lines very crisp. Because with canvases, you get those like little holes because it soaks up the paint. obviously go a little your pencil. But you know what? Even if you don't, most of the time, like I'll just go over it with eraser after it dries. That's why you don't like, obviously you don't press too hard with your pencil. Sometimes I have to, I lift it. It's funny because I do that every time I'm drawing. There's always like these crazy angles that I do. Like, I'll draw like this. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I'm gonna use a bigger paintbrush. The best is when it's still wet. You wanna. Sorry, I was making some. You know, for some reason, I want to put a bit of orange in here. Just a little bit. Don't know why. I'm just kind of feel like it'll just bring it together a bit more. Mm-hmm. Kind of see the color seeping in a bit. So what I'll do is counteract it with the white a bit, right? And then I'll let it dry a bit. Cause it's gonna aggravate me a bit. Mm-hmm. Cool. So while that's drying, I'm actually gonna do the background now. It's gonna be a tree hovering over it. You know what? Hmm. actually want to do the ground like a kind of very, very dark green. Thinking this, but even darker, because everything is, it's pretty dark, you know. I don't want to, it look really light. I know in the bottle it looks light, it looks dark, but trust me, when you paint it, it's so bright. So I'm gonna, is this dry? Yes. Look, I'm even gonna probably blend a bit of the green into the brown while I'm painting. It's gonna look awesome. Remember, with your edges, you really want to put a lot of paint, because it just looks so much sharper. See, it almost looks black. I like it. Could use a bit more green though, because it's looking a little too black. So I'm just gonna blend some green in there. There. Cool. You know, even sometimes if I find it's way too dark, I'll dip a bit of just the color itself. And that's the beauty of paint, right? You kind of get the green on top of it. Even you could go back later. So I'll take some of the light and dip it into the dark. So it's like pretty cool combination. Okay, like I said, I flip my canvas so much. Also watch when you get paint on your fingers, eh? You know how many times I was doing a painting and I accidentally have paint on my fingers and I get on my canvas? Sorry if you guys hear like my breathing the whole time. I breathe very hard. I do snore too. Probably why I'm single. You're doing a good job. Some water. See, that's the beauty. With different types of brushes, you kind of just press at the the tip part, and it makes like that nice line. Like you press on the pointy part when you're painting, does wonders, honestly. I have so many different types of paintbrushes. When I first started, I had only the basics. But when I finally went to the art store and took my time, wait, how cool is this? You know? So I'm gonna start from here. Go down. Sorry guys, we are my kids. They're back from school, like I said. This paintbrush is the best, the absolutely best. Before I was using a regular paintbrush, it was so hard, but it helped me like learn different techniques, but it was still very complicated, and I would not go back to that. Definitely so much easier. Sorry guys, I keep forgetting to look back to see if like it stops recording. So my bad if you guys miss some parts. Sorry. Right now I'm just doing my branches. See, what I'm learning too is to make my branches a little more like natural looking. So try to not make the lines too straight. You don't want to go like crazy, but you kind of don't want to have them way too curvy and purdy because no tree is perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect tree. So sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, like I gotta make some bumps and stuff like that because it looks too good. Sorry, I have to give that a little break. So I want obviously different sizes. Sorry, I kind of blank out all the time, eh? When I'm painting, I'm so concentrated. So, ooh, this one's not good. It's still the same. So even I would even go thinner. Let's try this one. So a lot of times, just to make it look a more crisp, I'll go over the ends with the smaller brush to give it that nice end. Of course, not all of them need it. Just some. This is the tricky part. The patience comes in. So I'm going to start out here because I think it's still a bit wet here. So you want to just put where the sun would be reflecting. I swear, sometimes I get so into the painting, I forget to breathe. Is that weird? Oh, jeez. Only me. Make it look more natural. Usually what I'll do is just go back over the... You want me to say it with the brown? So it doesn't look weird. Make it thin. Make it thinner. Two. Because it's just a light, right? From the sun. You don't want it overpowering. so different. That's what I love about it, you know? Everyone has their own way of painting. Like yours would never be the same as mine at all, even if you do everything to a T. But I would even do that. What kind of fun is that if you're doing everything exactly? You can get an idea from something, but you should for sure stay in your style. Even me, like I'm still not even sure what my style is. I'm still trying to find myself in art. Well, that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, let me know so I could do more. Hope you guys have a great evening. And yeah, lots of loves. Lots of loves. Lots of love. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace.